Hi and welcome to Robens. Here I'm going to give you some training on the Outback range of tents, and the tent that we're using here is the Midnight Horizon, but what I talk about here will go for the other tents in the range as well. So the first thing I want to do is talk about the fly sheets that we use in this range here. So this is our Hydrotex poly cotton. So obviously with it being poly cotton, we have a mix of polyester and cotton for this material here, and the mix that we have is a 65% cotton and 35% polyester. So a real high mix of cotton here, ensuring that, well, one, it's going to have a great lifespan. It's going to last a real long time. It will last much longer than polyester tents. The second is that it will react very well to the environment that it's in. So whereby if it's a really hot day, you'll find that you'll be kept a little bit cooler in these tents, and vice versa as well. If it's a little bit cooler outside, then you will be kept a bit warmer inside. And it's also naturally waterproof, although we do put a DWR finish on the material just to allow water to bead off of the material. All of the tents have these good quality T6 alloy poles here. Now these have all been anodized to ensure that they're not going to corrode, and what you will find is that we will colour code the poles to make sure that it's easy for your customers to be able to pitch these tents, ensuring hopefully that they're not going to get the wrong pole in the wrong place. We also then use our Storm Guard guy line system on here. So you can just see the guy lines are actually attached to some webbing, which we wrap around the poles and then pull the guy lines out and peg these out. And what that does is effectively secures the fly sheet more sort of tautly against the frame of the tents, ensuring that they're going to be really stable even in high wind conditions. We also have our Robens red guy lines, as you would expect, so hopefully these are a little bit more visible. And each guy line then has its own retainer, so when a customer comes to packing down the tent, they can wrap up the guy lines and pop them in here, so that the next time they come to pitch the tents, they don't have a sort of big tangled mess of guy lines that they have to spend time untying. At the back of all of the tents, you'll find that we have these really large ventilation panels, which correspond to some mesh paneling on the inside. I just want to highlight here that if we want to get rid of these, we can quite simply take down the Velcro tabs, and then we actually have a zip all the way across. So if it is quite cold outside, then all we have to do is just zip this closed completely, like so. One thing that you can definitely talk to your customers about is just how much ventilation that we have on these tents. So we have ventilation pockets here on the front of the Horizons. You'll also find that when the doors are closed down, there are ventilation panels on there. And on the Vistas, we have large ventilation panels above the windows where we have the eyebrow pole across there. All of the tents feature good-sized windows, allowing lots of light into the tent. And what you will find is that they each have their own curtains, which can obviously just be toggled closed into position just for that little bit more privacy as well. All of the tents in this range feature fully sealed ground sheets, and the materials that we're using on here is Oxford polyester, so it's quite lightweight, but it's still really durable, and has a hydrostatic head of 5,000 mil. And something just to point out that it is bathtub in style, so you can let your customers know that you're not going to get any drafts coming in, and hopefully they'll keep out kind of unwanted bugs and things like this as well. We also have a mains access point in all of the tents as well, which just allows obviously the customers to bring cables into the tents without having them running through any open doors. Just while I'm here, I also want to highlight that all of the doors in this range of tents all have full mesh doors on them as well, so we can roll them up on the outside and then drop these down again, just creating great ventilation within the tents, but keeping out, like I say, keeping out unwanted bugs and things like this. The bedrooms, I just want to highlight some of the features on here. So the first thing really is that these all come pre-attached, but you can see here that they're actually zipped into position. So what this does is it just takes any stress point off of the seam across the top of the bedroom, ensuring that it's hung in really securely, obviously with this mesh paneling at the top. Other things to highlight to the customers is the fact that this is a breathable polyester material. So again, we've got the customer's comfort in mind here. And then other features, we have storage pockets on the outside, we have more mesh paneling on the doors. Inside the bedrooms themselves, you'll find that we've got the blackout mesh across the top. So obviously this just allows the customers that little bit more comfort when it's quite bright outside in the mornings. It'll be nice and dark inside. We then have separating sheets which can allow the bedrooms to be split Obviously these can be taken away to be used as one large bedroom. We have storage pockets on the inside as well, just in here, so that's great for the customer's sort of smaller possessions. And again, as I mentioned earlier on, across the back of all the bedrooms, we have large mesh ventilation panels which correspond to the zipped panels that we showed you earlier on. So just remember that on the Midnight Horizon here, there is also an optional extra of putting another bedroom at the front here, creating a sort of vis-a-vis style tunnel tent. So that's all the information I can give you on the Outback tents from Robens. I hope you found that useful, and thanks very much for watching.